Using timeless wisdom to supersize you. Welcome to day 218 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today we're talking about, and all this month we're focusing on spirituality. That is one of the 9 life framework areas that I talk about all the time. At least I've been talking about them in mass since 2020 in the pandemic. Why? Because like everybody else, I knew I needed to keep moving during a time when most of the world was shut down, including 98% of what I normally did back in those days. So today we're talking about ancient wisdom and how can we use that to be a better version of ourselves? How can we use that to be a better human being? You know, human beings, including me, because I am one, we've been searching for meaning for thousands of years. I think every person goes through their own little journey and transformation and curiosity into what the heck am I here for? What's my purpose? Talked about that already this year. And want to tie it to a bigger reason than just I'm living this little life in my circle of stress and frustration and burnout and whatever else you might be experiencing. That was mine when I first started looking into this and wondering and learning about it. And what you consider ancient wisdom is, of course, going to be different for each and every one of us. I consider things like Napoleon Hill and his work not ancient wisdom, but wisdom. And wisdom is timeless, right? It really doesn't even matter the source. Look at half the quotes on the internet. They're like from anonymous. Well, who the heck's anonymous? It just means it's some random person who had a great thought and they shared it. Or somebody overheard them saying something profound and they shared it. Nowadays, people share everything, whether it's profound or wisdom or not. So you don't need to follow any one religion in order to learn from other wisdom in the world, right? I call myself these days spiritual, but not religious. And that's all a personal journey that I've gone through that involved a death experience and things. And so each of us make our own decisions and form our own opinions and choose what we are and are not going to pay attention to based on our experiences and our beliefs. Sorry, cloggy throat today. And my coffee's too hot to drink, burnt my tongue. So reading sacred texts, looking back at different sources of wisdom, and reading spiritual literature is a terrific way to open our own minds. If we approach them with an open mind and curiosity, that is, if we look at them to judge and compare them to what we believe already, guess what? We're just going to reinforce what we believe already. We're not going to learn anything. Which who wants to do that? If we're going to learn something, let's learn something. So what is our action item around this today? What the heck are ancient texts? Where do you find them? I would consider the Bible, the Quran. What are some other examples? Stoic philosophers, all old-time philosophers. You know, Plato, excuse me, all of the old philosophers. Rumi's poetry, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Those would all be examples of great places to look for wisdom. Also, when you're reading wisdom and wise quotes on the internet, please take them with a grain of salt. Just because someone said it and put it on the internet does not make it true, and it definitely doesn't make it true for you. So what should we do with this today? I challenge you to spend 15 minutes consuming some form of ancient wisdom. With the internet, this is super duper easy. You could just ask an AI to give you a summary of Stoicism, or a summary of Stoic philosophies, or a summary of Galileo or anybody's philosophies. I'm a big fan of scientists because that's my background, but you pick your experts and who you want to learn from and study about. And I want to say the older the better, but maybe not. It depends on our level of comprehension. Sometimes I can read the Bible. Sometimes it's a struggle for me. Sometimes I can read about Stoicism. Sometimes it's a struggle for me. Sometimes I can read Viktor Frankl's, Man's Search for Meaning. Other times not. Depends. So today, I want you to force yourself to consume something old, timely, and wise, and then share one thing that you got from it in the comments below so that we can learn from one another. Why? Because one of the best things we can do is share the wisdom that we learn, and or find a piece of ancient believed wisdom and why that isn't true today. How many flat earthers are there? How many people still believe the earth is flat? Yet everyone at periods of time in history believed that the earth was flat. Things like that. So I like to say question everything and choose what you're going to pick and choose to believe. And choose things that support your life and where you want to go in your life. Don't choose things that make life harder for you. I used to have this discussion with my dad before he passed away. And he's been gone, I think, 11, 12 years this year, Christmas time. And we would have great discussions. He was such a smart, wise man, just like his father and probably his father before him. And that goes back generations. I think one of the best things we can do is learn from previous generations and then decide what are we going to carry forward into our life and the life of our children and the people that we impact. And what are we going to make sure that we eliminate and leave behind? Because guess what? We all have some of those things too. And some of those aren't even our own. We did get those from our relatives. We did get those just from our environment and the people we were hanging around in. Doesn't mean we have to keep them forever. We have the power to decide whenever we want to let things go. All right, that is it today. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. If anybody wants any reflective questions, I always create reflective questions for each topic. I don't always have time to share them, and I didn't today. So if anybody wants those, just say something in the comments below and I will type them in quickly. And then everybody will have them. All right, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.